Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside our Milford TV studios as we present to you this week's all-new edition of the Milford Informer. I am Milford TV's Executive Director, Tim Coet. We're now officially into the fall season, and we have been busier than ever here at Milford TV, covering a great deal of events, meetings, and sports across the Milford landscape here over the last several weeks. So excited to get you caught up with a series of pieces for you this week. And before we get into our top stories of the week, let's bring you some information related to this fall season, courtesy of Scott Crisafulli and the Highway Department, as there has been a change made to the town's fall leaf pickup, which we'll be picking up within the next couple of weeks. So important information for residents to know coming into this season. We haven't quite started to see the leaves fall off the trees quite yet, but we know that that's coming and that the cleanup will begin. And so let's show you some information on your screen right now related to the new system that the Highway Department will be using for leaf pickup this season. So you can see the change in the schedule relates to the regularity in which your leaves will be picked up this fall, changing from a weekly model to a daily model. And so you can see on your screens right there, Monday through Friday, the different routes in which pickups will take place throughout that fall leaf pickup season, which begins on November 4th and finishes up on December 13th. So throughout those routes, throughout the week, you will have a designated day each week in which you can put your leaves out at the curb and have the Highway Department come by and pick up those leaves. So a lot to digest there with those changes. So you can see all of the basic information on your screen right now, but you can follow that QR code to go to the Highway Department's page on the Town of Milford website to get all of the in-depth details, including which route your street will be a part of. So again, important information for residents to be aware of as we continue on here throughout this fall season. We'll share that information out on our bulletin board and on our social media accounts as well, so everyone can be fully informed for the fall leaf pickup, which will be starting in just a couple of weeks. But with that, now let's move on to our top stories of the week. We have been so pleased over on our Milford TV sports coverage to be partnering with a couple of great local businesses that have been official sponsors of our sports coverage starting this past year, and that includes the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, who has been our presenting sponsor for our sports coverage. We're so appreciative of Rail Trail's involvement in our coverage here throughout the Milford community, and we had an opportunity this past summer to go in and film a lot of great behind-the-scenes footage around the Rail Trail facility that has now been open for just shy of a year here in the Milford community. So let's share more with you of all the great work and all of the delicious dishes being served over at Rail Trail Milford.
Hi, my name is Tasso Vitsas, and I'm a partner/marketing director here at the Rail Trail Flatbread Company in Milford. We have been around for just approaching 13 years. We opened our first location in Hudson, Massachusetts in 2012, and we are very, very grateful to have expanded here in our new Milford community less than a year ago. The support from our communities here in Massachusetts is what have allowed us to become successful and expand to our second location. We would say what first attracted us to the Milford area was a strong sense of community. We found that the community was very, very supportive, very engaged. We truly just want the guests to have the best time ever. From what they see to what they taste to what they smell, what they feel, what they hear. I'd love the community of Milford to know that we are truly obsessed with our guests, and we want you guys to have the best possible time. Being a new business, a lot of our staff members, along with training from Hudson, we were able to establish a strong hospitality team here.
Hi everyone, I'm Louie from Rail Trail Flatbread Company in Milford. And I'm making primo pepperoni for you. It's with our homemade dough. We put sourdough in it. It's a particular type of dough that nobody else makes it like ours. It's our sweet sauce that goes on there first, and then we're going to add our pepperoni, which is a special pepperoni because as the heat hits it, it cups and chars on the top, and you'll see when it comes out of the oven. But for right now, we're just putting on our sweet sauce. I'm going to move over here to the cheese station. This is where we top our flatbreads with our 3-blend cheese, and then we're going to put our primo pepperoni on. So this pepperoni is not like regular pepperoni. As I said, it comes out like a cup from the oven. As soon as the heat hits it, it curls up. I'm gonna put plenty of this pepperoni on there. Again, we'll put it in our wood-fired oven. We usually use New England hardwoods. This week we got mostly oaks, but overall that's basically the wood we use in our oven. All right, guys, this is the flatbread and it's going into our oven right now. Everything is made from scratch. We don't open any bottles. Everything is made from scratch, from the dough, everything. We don't do, that's what makes us better than everyone else. We'll slide it over to our server. And then this is the two key ingredients we put on top. It's our own hot honey. And then our garlic parmesan. And there you go, guys. This is our primo pepperoni. It's our #1 seller.
Hi there, I'm Danielle. I am the bar manager here at Rail Trail Milford. I'm here today going to make a cocktail for you on our menu. It's called This, That, and the Other Thing. So this is a dark rum-based cocktail. So I'm going to start off with some ice in our glass. All right, we are using an ounce of Plantaray dark rum. We're going to do some simple syrup. We use a papaya liqueur. It adds a really nice, bright, fruity component to the cocktail. And it also has fantastic color. We also have a coconut rum-based liqueur. Give it a nice tropical vibe. And then we also have some lime juice, some cold pressed pineapple juice, and we're going to shake it up. It's a beautiful bright orange color with a dehydrated pineapple on there. There you are, cheers. So here in Milford, we have a fantastic cocktail bar. We have a really long 23-seat bar. It's the first thing you see when you walk in. So we get to shake some cocktails for our guests and kind of show them what our craft is about. We also have 24 draft lines. All of our draft lines and the handles were made by hand. They're beautiful craftsmanship. And we also have this wonderful green marble from Greece. So it's really fantastic. It gives really nice homage to the bank that was here before. And has similar features to our facade outside with the green marble.
So when you walk into Rail Trail Milford, you can sense right away that it really took a special craft, a special vision to be able to turn this bank into a restaurant. And it's truly remarkable to be standing here of all the beautiful features that from our bar to our floor to our handcrafted ovens to our event space upstairs and our prep space downstairs and our patios. We are always looking to host events, whether it's, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, any type of party. We have plenty of event space upstairs. We offer catering, all types of catering for your work events, for your parties at home. We also could deliver them as well. And one of our favorite aspects here at Rail Trail is that we support internally, which is our sister restaurant, New City Micro Creamery. So you can also stop by, grab a pint of ice cream from New City Micro Creamery. We also are selling scoops of ice cream as well. So we kind of have a mobile scoop cart here as well. When we first opened, we couldn't be more thankful to the community for accepting us and allowing us to come serve them. And I just remember being truly touched when the guests were thanking us and they were saying, thank you for coming to Milford, thank you for choosing us. And it was really, really a special moment where, we both needed each other. I think based off the feedback that the Rail Trail has been a success in the town, but it's also been a success for our business. And, we truly couldn't be more thankful to be in this amazing community.
Along with the fall season here in Milford comes the beginning of the Milford Cultural Council grant season. We've been talking about this with you now for the last several years as the Milford Cultural Council has been creating opportunities for individuals to bring various cultural events here to the Milford community with this grant program, an opportunity for, if you happen to be out there and you have a great idea for a cultural movement that you can bring right here to the town of Milford, you can apply for that grant money to help make that idea a reality. And we just recently welcomed in the new chair of the Milford Cultural Council, Martine Montoya, to share all of the details with us on this year's grant season and all of the particulars that you need to know to get involved in this grant season. Well, this week on the Milford Informer, we're happy to welcome back an organization that we've had such a great relationship over the years, the Milford Cultural Council, and we're happy to welcome in the new chair of the Cultural Council, Martine Montoya, with us this week. Martine, thanks so much for being here.
Tim, as always, thank you so much for hosting us here on Milford TV. It is a pleasure to be with you today.
Not a stranger here to Milford TV. We've had you on before to discuss a lot of the things going on with the Cultural Council. You've been with the group now for several years and now taking over as chair. How has that transition been for you so far, moving into that chair role?
Interesting, to say the least. It's always one thing to be a voting member on the board, and it's something else to be responsible for the agenda. The process has been fantastic and seamless working with Jerry, our former board chair. She's been supporting us throughout this transition period, and she'll be with us into February of next year. One thing that a lot of community members may not know about the Cultural Council is we are term limited. We firmly believe that bringing in new blood to our organization routinely gives us better overall options in supporting the community as a whole. So part of it's kind of planned, and part of it is the growing pains of running a cultural institution.
But I mean, still, the Cultural Council just never misses a beat. You've been such an important institution in the town for so many years now. Another great year for the Cultural Council this year, highlighted by an appearance in the 4th of July parade earlier this year. That must have been a fun opportunity for the Cultural Council to get out in the community.
It was. It was actually our first parade float working in conjunction with the 4th of July Parade Committee this past year, and it was a lot of fun. I think we were ourselves and the 4th of July Committee were pleasantly surprised at the volume of people that turned up. They were literally at the parade start all the way down by IHOP, all the way up to Town Hall past the fire station. So it was a lovely affair to be a part of.
Yeah, first of all, great that the weather cooperated for the 4th of July parade this year. I know it was so unfortunate last year with the weather that we dealt with in July, but just a fantastic event this year. And once again, great job for the Cultural Council being part of that event. Well, Martine, one of the big reasons that we love to have the Cultural Council on at this time of year is to talk about the grant season, another grant season already upon us, actually starting just a couple of weeks ago through the month of September, and will be ongoing with a deadline approaching on October 16th. So still a few weeks to go for folks to get involved in this grant season. Love to just throw out a big picture question related to the grant season. A good one to bring up at this time every year is just what sort of overall is the Cultural Council looking for when it comes to grant season?
So the Cultural Council's charter asks of us to seek to provide excellence, inclusion, education, and diversity in the arts, humanities, and sciences to foster a rich cultural life for Milford residents. So if you take all of that into consideration, there really isn't any hard limits on what you could conceive as a grant program. Things that are in arts and entertainment, so singing, dancing, cultural dances are always of interest. Public events or learning sessions. We've had plant demonstrations. We've had science experiments. We've even had some opportunities to helping some organizations work out their school and class trips. So funding can be a problem for some of our communities in town, and we can act as a backstop in some cases to assist.
So many great events have come through Milford, and also a lot of educational opportunities as well, thanks to these cultural council grants. Martine, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who may be watching this right now who have a great idea for something to bring to the community, but they've never applied for a grant before. They're maybe unsure of the process or what to do. In terms of criteria that the Cultural Council looks for, what makes for a compelling grant application?
So 2 parts to this. First, I want to say that the Cultural Council has been conducting some public outreach. We've hosted 2 sessions so far at the Milford Public Library, and we have another one coming up on October 5th at 2 p.m. These sessions are for us to be able to communicate directly with particular potential grant applicants, and we can review the grant application process and some of the finer points as to what constitutes a good grant. I do want to say that as voting members of the committee, we cannot assist directly in the grant writing process because we have to judge them, but we are there as a resource to be able to help through that process. So that's the first part. The second portion of that, though, what makes a good grant? I put a couple of little highlights here on my notes, and a good grant is comprised primarily of a well thought out project. And what we mean by that is you need to have clearly defined dates. You need to have permission to operate in the locations that you have chosen. You need to have programming that matches the event description and idea. And you are trying to deliver a cultural programming or engagement with the most people you can. So if you have a project or a program that may serve 5 to 10 people, it would be scored differently than something that may cater to 50 or 100 or 200 people. With those kind of rough guidelines in mind, you can kind of tailor the program to fit the application.
And so you mentioned the Q&A sessions. You've had a couple of them already over at the Milford Town Library. There is still one more that's still coming up that I believe is scheduled for the first weekend in October. So one more opportunity for folks if they want to be able to get in on one of those sessions to be able to at least learn a little bit more overall about the process.
100%. So at those sessions, we will be going over the grant application process, links to the grant process. We also have information on the State Cultural Council guidelines. There are a few caveats in terms of grant funding, like we can help with tickets to the zoo, but we can't pay for transportation. There's some little stipulations in there. Outside of that, we can help them figure out where to file, figure out how to file, and answer any questions they may have regarding programming or ideas they have for their events.
Yeah, so very, very helpful there. So that Q&A session is scheduled for Saturday, October 5th over at the library from 2 to 4 p.m. So again, if you're looking to gather some more information or at least get your head around a little bit more the process for applying for one of these Cultural Council grants, that's a great opportunity there to take advantage of on Saturday, October 5th. We'll also be continuing to keep on our screen. I'm sure you've seen it a few times pop up already, but we'll get all of the key links for you to be able to access the grant application and any other resources that the Cultural Council has available. Martine, I know when we had Jerry on last year, and I know it's the same instance again this year, the Cultural Council is really looking for, in particular, to have Milford residents active in this grant application process, and also trying to get some younger folks involved. I know there's been some outreach to the schools to try to encourage some younger people to get out and get applications. So I know that's a real point of emphasis for the Cultural Council, to really get Milford involved with these Cultural Council grants.
So a couple things about the state grant programs. They are specified to community. So the grants that we would provide, they should be for programs or activities or events taking place in Milford. There aren't any particular stipulations limiting where the person who is putting on the program, where the grant applicant is from, is what I'm saying. So they could be from Hopkinton or Hopedale or Mendon or Blackstone. That isn't relevant. The question is, for the council's purview, does the program provide our objectives for the community? And that's really what we're going to measure it on. to the question of youth engagement. So this year we did receive some communications from our state council and board stating that we want to push youth application and youth engagement. As part of our outreach this year, we had generated materials that we shared with you for the public school district, and we also had some materials that were generated for the Milford Youth Commission. The goal was to get this in front of students through their peers and administrators and have them come back to us with any questions about the process. That being said, there is no age limit. We have awarded grants to students in the public school district to do a mural. I want to say that was back in 2023, and it was for a memorial. So there might be issues with the process of filling it out, maybe understanding the application or going through the grant process, in which case you can work with the teacher, a parent, or even reach out to somebody within the cultural council. We'd be happy to assist.
So, great news there for any young people who are tuned into this and have that inspiration, have that idea for something you'd like to bring to the community. This is a great opportunity to get involved in this grant process at a young age and bring something new and unique to the Milford community. So Martine, again, the grant application process ongoing now, the deadline October 16th. Once that deadline passes, what's sort of the landscape going forward for the Cultural Council moving forward to going into the review phase of these applications?
The review phase is actually interesting. It's probably the single most challenging and fun event that the council has each year. It's busy season for us. So as of right now, we can already start to see applications coming into the state portal. They will remain open until the closure date. So on October 16th, 5 p.m., close of business that day. There's no more submissions, and the state will provide what they call a master packet for us. And it combines all of these PDF applications into a single document. And then as a board, we print those out, and we go home with a homework assignment. So we have some of the criteria that I discussed: clearly defined projects, reaching the community, funding sources, who is your target audience, and we have to read through every single one of these grants and score them based on this criteria. We then take the ranked applicants, score them top to bottom, and we start going through the award process. So there's about 2 weeks between closure, pamphlet prints, and our first meeting, which we will meet and review all the information. And then the second meeting coming up, so approximately 6 weeks after grant closure, awards get sent. So the final decisions will be made at that point. So we're closing October. So by mid-November, early December, everybody will be made aware of who the grant recipients are for the coming FY, and we'll move forward with the process.
Exciting stuff. Again, get involved in this grant application process. It's ongoing now, a deadline to apply of October 16th. So again, we'll keep all of those resources going up on the screen for you so you know where to go to apply and where all of the other resources are from the Cultural Council to get involved in this grant process. And we're so excited to see another great year of projects cropping up across the community, helped along by this grant process. Just an absolutely great resource here to bring incredible culture and a lot of great opportunities for folks to learn here in the Milford community. So again, we can't thank the Cultural Council enough for all the great work that you do in the community. And again, if you want to stay up to date on everything going on with the Cultural Council, you can find them on social media, on Instagram, and on Facebook. You can also find great resources for the Cultural Council on the Milford Town website as well. Martine, always great to speak with you. Good luck with this process moving forward, and we can't wait to get more involved with the Cultural Council moving forward.
Tim, as always, thank you guys so much for hosting us here at Milford TV. You are an invaluable resource to the community.
As we wrap up the month of September, we wrap up an exciting month of sports coverage here on Milford TV. Once again, our fall sports coverage has been hard at work bringing you coverage of the Milford High School varsity girls and boys soccer teams, the football team, and the girls volleyball team as well. We've already seen some great competitions across the sports landscape this fall. So let's wrap up this month of September with a look at our top plays from the month of September in our fall sports coverage. best opportunity for Milford in the game to get on the scoreboard. It will be the sophomore Gio Capelli. Less than 6 minutes to go to take the penalty shot, and he puts it in. No problem. And so it is the sophomore Gio Capelli who scores the first Milford goal of the season. And the Scarlet Hawks will take a 1-0 lead with 5:44 to go in the first half. Pretty lively crowd in here for this volleyball action tonight. There's the setup for Murphy, places that perfectly for the kill. This time Lopez looking to throw, has a target deep, the ball deflected, and it's intercepted. This time, Milford's able to seal the deal. Taylor Feliciano gets another chance. He'll run it himself. Cutting back and forth, ball comes out. Milford has it. And now looking for blockers as running upfield is number 4, Anthony Maeda. He's away from everyone. He's going to take it to the house for the defensive score, Anthony Maeda. And now this ball drifts back to the defense, and again, Milford will try to angle this one forward. An opportunity here for Calden, as she's able to get this one past the keeper. Ends up losing her footing out of play. And it looks like Milford's going to get the penalty shot. And this one past the keeper. O'Driscoll guessed right, but Nashawati able to get it past as she went into the dive, and Milford is able to even the score. Scoreless through this early going as Milford now looks to send this ball up the middle, able to get a step on the defense, and a sprawling save is made, but the redirect is in for the score. It was a great ball that got that scoring opportunity started. The initial shot, I think, was from Gio Capelli, and Wright was able to make the save, but let a juicy rebound go, and that was where Danny De Silva was able to take care of business. And now just out of the reach of Ribeiro. He gets it back, little jersey tug, fires this one in, and he scores. From long range, Brian Ribeiro able to sneak that one in top shelf. And a critically important point for both teams now about to play out at 23 all. The roof may have helped Milford's cause there a little bit, kept that ball from going off into the stands. Another scramble here for Milford, they survive. Now a hard blast from Austin is absorbed on the back row. Now denied at the net. Lukin with a soft return, and she gets the kill. Milford hanging on in that point by their fingernails. Somehow they get the point, and they will have a single set point chance here. It'll be a match point at 24-23. Lovely. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Stokes, goes deep down the field, has Kamara wide open for the catch, trying to accelerate past the defense, and a touchdown saving tackle is made for the time being by Tennyson Charney, as Kamara takes that ball all the way down to the Wellesley 5, and that's exactly the kind of play that Milford needed to get this crowd energized, get the sideline energized, and Milford in business now.
That is all the time we have for this week's edition of the Milford Informer. As always, we thank you so much for tuning in. And from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.